In this video, we're going to look at how we can create personalized I am affirmations so that we can focus on how we can achieve the changes that we want to present to the world. If you're new to the channel, subscribe so that you can keep an eye out on how the channel is going to develop, because we're going to continue developing videos in this direction. And in the next videos, you can expect a video for an example how we can create personalized I am affirmations for those of you that believe that they need an example. The video is separated into two parts. The first part is about how we can actually create the affirmations, and the second part is helpful points that can help us reaffirm and strengthen the affirmations that we're working on. So stay tuned until the end. A very important point that we need to address is that affirmations become stronger when we act on them, when we are doing something. So instead of the regular telling you that you just need to reaffirm and repeat to yourself what the affirmation is and believe in it, we're going to add something else. We're going to add action. In the beginning, we need an idea, what we want to do, what we wish to achieve, how we wish to achieve it, and what our specific affirmation is. And we just start. The ideas can be: I'm positive, I'm sincere, I'm honest, I'm brave, I'm good, I'm gentle, I'm calm, I'm balanced. There are no limitations here. Everybody can be what they wish to be, and everybody can choose what to be. The power is in us, and this is where we're starting from. The second step is starting to think on that idea. Now, a lot of these ideas may seem like they're the same, but they are specifically chosen for a specific focus, and respectively, in the beginning, we need to choose an idea and then understand it. Which is why, for starters, we choose an idea and then we start thinking about that idea, repeating it. The repeating itself is to understand the idea, to see its possibilities. The more we think about an idea, the more we dive into that idea, or rather, that's the idea, to dive into the idea in order to see how we can manifest the results that we're looking for. And here comes the focal point. When we start focusing on the idea or ideas that we wish to achieve, there are going to be ideas that pop up into our head of what we should do. When that happens, we should find a way to apply all of those ideas, because all of them are, for us, connected to our success in this direction. Our affirmation, the change that we're looking for, meaning that the more ideas we have, that much more work we have, that much more options we have to work on that specific idea and see the results from a different point of view, different methods. And this way we can see how it actually manifests in different areas that those ideas are focused on. This is why we apply all the different ideas that come to our mind regarding these ideas. This isn't about just repeating things until we start believing in them. This is about starting to work as if this idea, this affirmation that we're working on, is already a fact, and to seek out how it's going to manifest in our surrounding environment when we apply it. And the way it works is very easy, because every time we apply something, we have some type of result, and based on this result, we are able to assess where we are at, or rather, this is how we look at it. But in actuality, based on this information as feedback, we are able to assess how much deeper we can go and how much deeper we want to go into this idea. And here's another focal point. Thanks to the application and the ideas that we have and are using, we are able to find the subtleties in this state, this affirmation. The affirmation that is leading us to the change that we're looking for, right? So, more application. The idea here is that when we start working on something, our focus is more serious. And by focusing on the application, the tasks that we have, we can see a lot more clearly what we're missing, what are our mistakes, where is our focus distorted, and how things are actually able to manifest. Because when we apply something, we have a 50-50 result. 50% things are the way we want them, and the other 50% are diverted from our desired result. And since we already have a 50% success, we're inspired to move forward, but we also have 50% that haven't realized. These are the things that help us understand what we should change in ourselves so that we can manifest the results that we're looking for, which means that we get more ideas to continue in this direction. In general, just to make it clear in the sense, the stopping point is wherever we put it. This is why the more we develop, that much more ideas come our way. And whenever they're connected with practical actions, they grow that much more alongside our inspiration, because we know that we have that much more things to work on. Meaning to say that every moment we have that much more opportunities to learn how we can become what we're looking to become. This is why it's so important to gather the information that is becoming available to us, meaning that we should look at our surrounding environments, the sources that are being presented to us. These sources can be anything. They can be about information, application, practice, experiences, interactions, whatever, because everything can help in the direction of our development. And again, the stopping point is where we put it. Having all this in mind, it's important to focus and reflect on the changes. Technically, everything that we've described until this moment is focusing and reflecting on the changes. And in the process of working, as long as you're decisive, you will reach that conclusion by yourself. But nonetheless, we should mention it because we tend to forget, or because of old lazy habits, we don't want to do it. Or it could just as well be the affirmation that is stopping us from believing in what we wish to believe. Because alongside belief manifests doubt, and we should just choose on which side we're going to focus. This is very essential. And so on and so on. In general, the idea can always be developed further. This is why it's our responsibility to decide how we're going to develop it and in what direction we're going to push it. And again, we're the ones that decide where the borders are. How are you finding the video so far? If you like it, click the thumbs up so that we can rise in YouTube's ranks, so that we can share it with more people. And at the same time, you can share this video so that we can help people reach this video. And while that's going on, you can share your thoughts in the comments below. And now here are a couple of pivoting points that can help you strengthen your affirmations. To always be honest and responsible for our intentions and action. This is the best way that we can check with ourselves how we're managing with the tasks that we are assigned to ourselves, based on the ideas that we're using. On one hand, this means to openly share the ideas that we're working on and what we wish to achieve, just so that we can be honest. When we're open, we explain what we're doing and we're honest, we are able to follow our actions in accordance to what we're saying, because sometimes there is a huge difference between what we're doing and what we're saying, which is why this is a very important point. On the other hand, when we're sharing, we don't really know where we are going to receive the assistance that we might need and might push us to new heights. Of course, everything depends on the way that we define everything around us and the way that we use it. And as a former skeptic that has always had issues with what he's received as feedback, I can tell you that this has been the biggest issue that has been stopping me from moving forward. From here, you should be able to realize that one of the most important focal points is trust in everything else. Everything that is happening around us, everything that we are being told, everyone that is around us. And again, based on their actions, we can assess what's useful to us and what isn't. Something else that can really help us achieve what we're striving towards is waiting for our surrounding environment to confirm that we've achieved the change that we're looking for. What do I mean? It is kind of an interesting moment where we don't present ourselves as what we want to be, what we are affirming for ourselves. Instead, we work in a way that indicates that we already are, but we still are waiting for a confirmation from our surrounding environment. If, for example, we're striving towards being smart and intelligent, or to deal with the events in our life in an intelligent way, the idea is to do exactly that, not to present ourselves in a manner that makes us believe that we are, but actually do the work that a smart and intelligent person would do, and which indicates that he is intelligent. And the truth is that really at one moment someone will appear and tell you, hey, you're very smart, you're very intelligent, or something along the lines of, but in general the message is clear. You have become what you have wished for. At that moment, our inspiration increases tenfold. And from a practical point of view, it's very beautiful. I would love to learn how you felt when this happens to you. And here is a marker for you. Goosebumps. Goosebumps are 100% belief in the information that we are receiving or what is happening in the moment. Something else important for developing our affirmations is developing the idea that we're focusing on. Now, we've already said it, focusing on the idea, looking for ways to apply it, seeing how it's going to develop and so forth. But let's look at why it's so important to keep pushing. If we are stagnant, our development stops and our old habits start manifesting more and more. For an affirmation to become stronger, we should learn what it means and we should reaffirm it as long as possible, as much as possible, and in as many situations as possible. This is our task if we wish to develop the new habit. And again, as we mentioned, this happens with actions. But the moment that we start something and we repeat it too many times, we reach a dead end. Because at some point we're just repeating it. While there is change, while there are challenges, while we're feeling challenged, is when we are developing. If we don't have challenges, we're becoming stagnant. And at one point or another, we're going to go back to our old habits. This is our collective thinking. This is how we work. Having said that, we should mention that the idea, the affirmation that we have chosen, in the process of developing, always changes. Always. Because at one point we realize how globally this can be applied. And then it changes. It receives a new name, a new meaning, in the sense of both meaning and meaningfulness. So don't get frightened, because this is something that I did once, that you're not thinking about this idea anymore. It has evolved, it has changed into something more global, more affirming, that for you, it's the next step in the process of developing. I'm saying for you, because for everybody it might be something different. Everyone has different conclusions, different experiences, which leads people to different solutions. The only important thing at that moment is to stick to the points, to continue to develop and act, even if it looks like we are straying from the path that we would like to follow. With focus and decisiveness towards the idea that we wish to explore, we are always going to achieve or reach the result that we're looking for. Because again, we're the ones that are putting the limitations, we are the ones that define what's happening or how it will affect us. This is the most precise answer. How something will affect us. We are the ones that choose. And the easiest points, every affirmation can be applied in every situation and interaction. There are no limitations, the limitations are where we put them. The question is, how much can we adapt to the situation so that we can apply the affirmative action that will affirm the affirmation, the practical associations that we've already created for the change that we wish to achieve and have achieved. If we repeat the affirmation before we go to sleep and after we wake up, then the effect becomes a lot stronger during the next day. Because with repeating it in those specific moments, we organize our neurons in our brain, which reflects on our behavior during the day. And probably the most important points, when we're decisive on acting, is when our affirmations have the strongest effect. This is because when we decide to start working on something, we start doing something with the clear intention to reach a specific result without any insistence on how it's supposed to look. The connections in our brain help us in a way that clears our mind in such a way that we can succeed in the best way possible, in this moment as best we can. And this is another source of inspiration, because we can see the success, focus, and the unconditional support of our idea. Believe me, you will know it when you experience it. It's even hard for me to explain it. And the last point, how does this happen? When our accepting and understanding of our surrounding environment are present. This is when we're most powerful to achieve the changes that we're looking for.